I'm reviewing niggas like, yo, you know, how I do, I'm moving and still. Yeah. Yep. Top of the morning, top of the morning. Yes, it feels so good. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are live, L-I-V-E. But that's not what's important. It is Monday. That's not important either. I mean, it's cool that it's Monday. But what's the most important part of what we're talking about today? Well, first and foremost, you got to recognize something. Today is the best day of your life. If you don't think so, try missing it. See what happens. Now, first of all, if you don't think today is the best day of your life, and I'm going to tell you right now, you don't even have a chance at it being the best day you ever had. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I got more better days ahead of me, and you should feel like you got more better days ahead of yourself. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about today is taking that real action. I know we love to read. I know we love to think. I know we love to prepare. We love to prepare. That's our favorite thing to do is prepare. We'll prepare. We love preparation. We love learning. We love getting ready. We love getting ready. So much so that we'll spend more time getting ready, more time preparing than actually doing the thing that's going to take us to the next level. You know how I know? Because I suffer from that as well. You know, I just wrote in one of my songs, I said, some people trying to learn to live, I'd rather live and learn. I'd rather get the experience and learn versus trying to learn every experience that I'm going to have. You cannot foretell what's going to happen. You must, absolutely must take the action necessary. Take the activity necessary. Go to the place, make the phone call, shoot the video, write the script, do whatever you gotta do. Turn the paper in, fill out the form, do what you need to do. We wait so long to do things that take 30 minutes. It's something right now you putting off. I know it is. It's something right now you putting off that you can do right now in 30 minutes. It's weird enough because a lot of times what you think is going to take you a long time don't even take you a long time. I know I ain't the only one. The point of the matter is you got to take the action. I said on the interview I did with Jasmine Gates the other day, shout out to New Black History Makers, I had said that most people will study how to ride a bike. They'll take the courses, take the classes, read the manual, practice inside the house. Okay, my feet like this. Practice the balance. Nothing takes place of the actual experience of the activity. So if you just now tuned in, top of the morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, the whole point of today's show is about taking actual action. Going through the actual process, not just thinking, not just planning. It takes so much longer for you to think, plan. So much longer for you to think, plan. Now, let me ask everybody a question. I have to pose this question. What is the one thing that you take your sweet time doing? Your sweet time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Taking your sweet time. What goal do you have in front of you that you're not after? One of the greatest mentors I've ever heard say, he said that the proof in your desire is in your daily activity. What are you doing every day to prove that you know what? I know what it is. Your goals are not set in stone yet. You don't got the concrete on it. You ain't poured the concrete on your goals. Your goals are still clay. You haven't poured the concrete on your goals. You haven't made it real. You haven't cemented it. You haven't planted your flag. You still wondering if it's going to work out. You still thinking about if it's going to work. You still thinking about if it's going to be the thing for you. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's getting your ass out there and figuring it out. The best thing my mom ever told me, she said, Keith, hurry up and find out if it's going to work. Hurry up and find out if it's going to work. That means hurry up. Take the necessary action. Do what you need to do. Stop playing. Stop procrastinating. Stop thinking it's going to get better. Stop thinking it's going to be a better situation. There is no better situation. The only situation is the one you're in right now. So you got to take advantage of what you have currently. You must take advantage of what you have currently. Stop playing with time. Stop playing with your energy. You got to take the action. There's no more books to read. There's no more manuals to look over. There's no more videos to watch on YouTube. All that's left to do is for you to take the necessary action. That's it. There's a whole lot of lesson in taking the necessary action. There's way more lesson in taking that necessary action than it is in reading that book. There's way more of a lesson in you actually doing the activity than it is you trying to figure out what you can do to be successful. You got to get in there. You got to get in the mix. You got to get in the process. That's the only way to figure it out. You got to be ready to fail. You got to be ready to lose. Look forward to it. Say, hey, let me get this first mistake out the way so I can get past it. Because you won't get past the first mistake no matter what. I don't care how much you study science and look at the angles of the way the ball supposed to go in the hoop. You can study the weight of the basketball. You can freaking study the length of the court. You can study what's the angle your freaking elbow is supposed to be in the flick. You can study all that, but I guarantee you're gonna miss your first shot. So get it out the way. Get it out of the way. And I gotta say top of the morning to my people in the morning, man, that wake up and get to it every single day. Every single goddamn day. I gotta shout out Erica in the chat, asked me about my skin. She said, I don't think I procrastinate, but I do get a little overwhelmed starting multiple things at once instead of executing one thing at a time. You know, I think that we can all share the same sentiments with that idea is sometimes it ain't necessarily procrastinate, or we think it's not procrastinating, it's overwhelming, but then it turns into procrastination because all procrastination is putting something off for a moment of time. So it's like, it may not be intentional procrastination, but we are. And I find myself doing that too. You know, sometimes I got to just be like, let me smash this goal so I can get to the next thing. Let me smash this goal so I can get to the next thing. Let me smash this and let me get this over with. Liz says, happy Monday. God bless your week. That's to everybody. God bless all y'all. Eric says, top of the morning. My brother Uno's in the chat. He says, got to get your hands dirty. Studying, preparation, and learning about it will only get you so far. How far? Let me ask y'all this, man, because I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to get vulnerable with y'all with my goals because I just discovered this, y'all. No BS. I just discovered what my goal was. After all, and you know what? And sometimes it take that amount of time. I just discovered what my goal was. I just figured it out, and when it became clear, and I poured cement on it, everything started to feel different. No, you know, often I say, I'm gonna make this $1 billion company. That's my goal. Billionaire status. I've never had that goal before. I've never had that goal before, and I tell people all the time that ask me about it. I keep saying it until I believe it. One. I'm gonna keep saying it till y'all believe it for me as well, because it's gonna take that. But most importantly, I realized that me being a billionaire is not about the money. I'm gonna tell you why it's not about the money. Because after you make $100 million, $200 million, you can't buy nothing else. For me, it's the reality of the goal. It's the rare chance of the goal. It's the obnoxiousness that I even have the gall to say that I'm gonna be a billionaire. That gets me riled up is, who do you think you are? And I'm gonna respond and say, I am great. That's who I am. So I'm gonna prove it to myself. Reaching a billionaire status is not even about the money. It's about reaching a goal that seems impossible. And that's what I like to do. I like to do what people say is not likely. I like to do what people think I can't do. I like to do what I think I can't do. I like to impress myself. It ain't about nobody else. It's about me impressing me. That is why now I understand, if this is my clear goal, all of my actions have to lead up to that. So now, sometimes we all have like, hey, I want to take action, but what action do I take? And you don't know what action you got to take if you haven't poured cement on your goal. You got to pour cement on it. What happened? We are so afraid to commit. A lot of us are afraid of commitment. I mean, that's kind of what we grew up. We afraid to commit to a person, to a job, whatever. Commitment is very difficult for all of us to make. That's why we make so few of them. Honestly, we make very, very few commitments a lot of times to ourselves, you know, to certain things that we're doing, because it's like we feel like we're stuck. Well, yes, you kind of are. So make that commitment to yourself. Have the balls to say, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. I read a comment on Instagram that actually blew me. I mean, I heard this before, but the way it was said kind of just blew me away. It said, you get out of life what you have the courage to ask for. The courage. Courage. You scary ass. You are trying to ask for basic because you don't think you can get greatness. You asking for good because you're afraid to ask for great. Especially if you're a believer. If you're a person who believes in God and divinity and God can do all, and most of us do, you don't really believe that if you're asking for little stuff. You don't really believe that if you're not setting your goal high. You don't believe God can do great things for you. Stop lying. You don't believe in that. Because if you did, you would ask for more. Imagine, I say all the time, imagine you pulled up to a, what's it called, drive-through window, and they say you can order whatever you want. Whatever kind of food you want in the world. Whatever, there's no limit. Whatever you want, you wouldn't know how to act. You wouldn't even believe it. Whatever I want, whatever you want, it will be delivered. As long as you have the courage to ask for it. So ask for what it is you truly want. Stop settling on life. And then guess what? You have to make the actions match what it is that you say you want. It has to match. It has to match. It's like you can get the car you want, but if you don't got the right tires, you ain't going nowhere. If you don't have the right thread, you ain't going nowhere. If you don't have the right size wheels, you ain't going nowhere. So the activity has to match the goal and desire. It has to match. So don't be afraid of asking for way more than you previously asked for, but be willing to put in what's necessary for that. It's funny because, you know, everybody wants abs, right? And the crazy thing is we all actually know how to get abs. We know how. So a lot of times the goal that you want to set out for, you know how to reach it. It's just deciding if you're going to do the work or not. That's the hard part. Deciding if you're going to take the action, that's the difficult part. Deciding if you're going to put in the fucking work is the part that you can't handle. Now, as my blood pressure is rising, I'm going to jump to the chat real quick. Top of the morning to my brother DJ Flux, man. Always tune in. So, man, I appreciate you so much, Henry. Y'all make sure y'all check out Happy Hour, Happy Marriage Friday nights on TGN Latinx, and get some soul and some life in you, man. I'm telling you right now. Take a listen to him. He says goals are just that. Goals will only manifest if we keep on pushing. Period. And the thing about those goals too, now I'm on this ASAP plan. I'm no longer on a future plan. I didn't even say that this morning, but I'm going to say it before I end. There is no future. It's only right now. So everything in life should be when, ASAP. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm saying as soon as possible. Your possible may not be 2-3 years from now. But if that is soon as possible, you for sure don't want to push it back to 5 years. You for sure don't want to push it back to 7 years because you're not taking the right action as soon as possible. As soon as possible. As soon as possible. Goddess Lode's in the chat. She says, yes, me impressing me, that's what it's about. That's what it's all about. It's the only thing it's about. When you impress yourself, you don't care what nobody, it doesn't matter. It has no effect on you what anybody says or does. I'm impressed with me. I look good, goddamn, and I know who I am. Look at this. Ain't nobody got to see this. It's like you ever cook something and be like, damn, this shit bomb. I ain't got nobody to share this with. But so what? All for me is fire. We all been there. Like, damn, I hooked this up in the kitchen. I wouldn't even, damn, I put it down. I didn't know I can do all this. impress yourself. Maybe you start doing push-ups and you start at 1, now you're doing 10, and you impressed with that 10. That's all that matters. Don't matter what the next person is doing. Your goal is cemented in concrete. DJ Flux, he said, it's up to us to turn the impossible into I'm possible. I mean, if you break down the word, that's how you spell it, right? So anything is possible if you actually believe it. But guess what? Now, belief ain't just it. What else you got to do? The damn work. You already know. I got Robbie D in the building with me. He ain't here. DJ Flux said, we got to believe in us and be our biggest fan. 100%. You got to be a fan before other people become a fan of you. If you don't think you good, I don't want to work with nobody who think they okay. I say all the time, if you were going to get surgery, heart surgery, would you want the doctor to say, I think I'm okay. I think maybe I can get the job done pretty good. Or you want the doctor to say, I got this. This is nothing. I for sure got this. This is what I do. Confidence. Confidence breeds what's possible. You got to believe that you can do it. And then you take the action. My brother Uno says, your actions and aspirations got to be lined up. The work should reinforce what you are shooting for. And until you actually get up and do it, you're just sitting in the stands of the game called life. You're watching your own life pass by. You're marking time. Days are going and going and going and going. What's happening every day of your life? Do you feel, let me ask you the real question. Here's a real question for y'all. Do you feel like every day you're getting closer to your goal? Do you actually feel that way? Or do you feel like every day you're in the same spot you were yesterday? You started off. Or do you feel like it's taking you a week to make one step forward? Because every single day you should feel like I'm moving a day forward. I'm progressing. Every single day should feel like a day of progress. Every single day you should be in motion. You should be in motion towards your goal every single day, because nothing else matters. Les Brown says you got to go after your goals like your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. Because it does. Your life depends on what you do today, ladies and gentlemen. Your life depends. Your success, everything depends on what you do now. Everything depends on what you do right now, with this very moment, with the next moment, with today's moment, with today's opportunity. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to miss today's opportunity and hope that there's another one tomorrow? Are you going to take advantage of the present and the only opportunity you have of right now? What are you going to do today that changes everything, that begins the change of everything? Who are you going to talk to today? What conversation are you going to have today? Are you going to pour cement on your goals and say, this is where I'm headed? It's much further than I thought that I was going to plan for, but now I'm going for it. Listen, no one is successful by accident. I'm going to say it again. No one is successful by accident. Everyone is successful by intention. Now, I know we can go and say, hey, well, everybody's success and all that. Look, I'm not here for all that hoorah and that BS. We know what we're talking about. We're talking about tremendously. Listen, if you want little success, this is not the show for you. Sorry. If you want average success, this is not the show for you. This won't work for you. I'm talking about for those who think big, who think ridiculous thoughts, who think beyond measure, who think in ways that actually scare them, who think in ways that don't exist to most people. Those who are above average. The above average. Only for the above average. Nothing is regular. Nothing is basic. Everything is extraordinary. I know most of us want to live an extraordinary life. Most of us want to live an outstanding life, but to live an outstanding life, you have to stand out amongst the crowd. You got to be willing to not look like other people. You got to be willing to not think like most people. You got to be willing for people to point the finger at you and say, why are you so different? Why can't you just do what everybody else is doing? Why do you got to go against why do you got to always do your thing? Why you can't just do what the group is doing? Because that's not in you. That's not in me. And that's okay. You know, and I find the crazy thing, a lot of us will become, people think we introverts. We ain't introverts, it's that we thinking on a different frequency. We thinking on a different level. The level we on, you ain't never seen before. What's going through my mind it don't even exist yet in the physical world. It's as hard as thinking of a color you've never seen before. Do y'all hear the difficulty in that? Thinking of a color you've never seen before. Think about the level of thought. Thinking of a shape that you've never seen before. The level of thought it takes to create that in the mind. Thinking about what you're thinking about. That type of level of thought. Thinking about what you're thinking about. Making a decision on your thoughts before you start thinking. That's true control of the mind. And the mind controls the body, which creates the action to develop what's in your mind in the first place. See, everything wasn't possible until somebody made it possible, right? I tell you right now, if we go back to 200 BC and you try to explain airplanes, they'll cut your head off because it's witchcraft and wizardry and it's impossible to do. Now it's the #1 form of transportation. You try to explain the internet to somebody in 200 BC, they're going to chop your head off and burn you at the stake. You try to explain FaceTime to somebody in 200 BC. You try to tell them, hey, you see this rock here? One day you're going to be able to look at this rock and see a person around the world on this rock, on this little hard piece of metal or whatever it is. They're going to cut your head off and burn you at the stake because in the mind, it doesn't exist until it becomes. And you have to be that person. You have to be that wizard. You got to be that witch, whatever you want to call it. And they say God acts through us. Y'all hear that? They say God acts through us. So that means if God is using you, that means God, you have all God's powers. You have everything to create. Anything that comes in your mind that you can create and bring it into fruition, to reality for yourself. So the question remains, why are you asking? Why do you have such small ask? Why are you selling yourself short? Why are you still going for basic? Why are you still going for regular? Why are you still going for average? You can have anything you want if you're willing to put the action behind it. It's not about thinking no more. It's about activity. Activity turns into productivity. So what are you going to do today? There's no studying. I should be done today. No studying, only action, activity. Make the phone call. Book the room. Make the purchase. Send the email. Make the phone call. Set the meeting. Pull up to the place. Do what you need to do. Stop putting it off till tomorrow. Take the action when, y'all know. I say this to say before we end today, it's vital, absolutely vital, that you actually move. Move. That means where you are right now, move. Actually I'm trying to get like real, like practical here. That means like actually tell your body, like get on the computer and move the body, move the fingers. Actually move, like you gotta move. Actually move the legs grab the keys, move to the car, and move to the place you need to be. Go talk to the people you need to talk to today. Stop playing and waiting around. So I read last few comments here. DJ Flux said, fear is the biggest killer of any type of success. Fear is 100%. Huge killer. And I was talking to, Devontae the other day, and we were talking about how good just kills great. Don't get caught up with that good and you forget about greatness. See, when your goals have cement on them, that means they ain't going nowhere. You pour cement on them goals, you gonna recognize the difference between good and great. Good won't get it because you've yet to reach your goal. My goal is cemented. Could y'all imagine? My goal is $1 billion, right? Y'all think I'm gonna be mad at 500 million? Like I'm like, oh man, y'all think I'm gonna be pissed? I think I'm gonna be pissed if I fall short to 900 million. I think I'm gonna be pissed. Probably, because that's not my goal. Y'all probably think like, no, you're gonna be straight. No, I'm gonna be pissed. Because my goal is cemented. I don't care about the money. That's not what it's in for. I figured that part out. It's the goal that's cemented. Uno says, those with dynamic aspirations and goals have trains of thought that are fine-grained and highly detailed. Too many people, their goals scare them or place fear on them because of the magnitude. I think most people are afraid of two things as I leave today. It's two things that I know people are afraid of. The first thing people are afraid of is the responsibility of success. I know this. I know this for a fact. Don't argue with me. The responsibility of success, most people are afraid of. Because when you become successful, you have to start taking care of other people. I believe it was Meek Mill said it the best. He said, it's crazy because when I didn't have no money, nobody called me. When I got money, every time somebody go to college, every time it's a funeral, every time somebody, I get all the calls now. The responsibility of success weighs heavy. Everybody want to be king, but nobody want to put the crown on. Everybody want to be royal, but they don't want to put the damn crown on and get your royal on. You can't avoid what comes with it. And if you're not with that, then stop saying you want it, because you don't want that. Go, you better choose something else. Decide if you want that, pour cement on it and go after it. So the responsibility of success, most people don't want that. That's the first thing. It's the first thing, responsibility. Second thing is the amount of work that's required. It's a deterrent. They may say, hey, you want abs? You got to run 100 miles. They say, damn, 100 miles? So they won't even start. They don't realize if you get to 50 miles, you get half the abs you want. They don't realize if you run 25 miles, you get a quarter of the abs that you want. Just start the process. Don't worry about all the work that's required. Just do the work, because when you start doing the work, guess what? Then now you got to do less work to get to your goal. If you got to do something 100 times, you do it 10 times. Now you only got 90. You do another, now you only got 80. So now you see the work becomes less as you start to work. Get to work. If you want things to be easy, do what's hard. If you want things to be hard, do what's easy. You'll get your own result. Erica said, she said, I'm up, I'm moving, I'm motivated. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's move around. You know, I pace when I talk, or I pace around the house all the time. It drives my girl crazy. She's like, just sit down, Keith. I'm like, I can't. I got to keep moving. I like the blood running through my body. I like to use my legs while I'm thinking. It's part of my body. I need all my body for my thoughts. I need all my thoughts. I need all my body. I need everything. I need all of me. I need every fucking ounce of me. I need every inch of me to make it to my goal. I can't just depend on my brain. I got to depend on my arms, legs, everything. Everything. It's going to cost all of you to get everything you want. I say all the time, if it costs everything you have to get everything you want, Is it worth it? And guess what? It's going to cost you everything you have to get everything you want. It's like moving into a new home. You got to leave that old home behind. You can't take the old home with you to the next home. You got to leave it. Everything you got, you got to leave that to get what you want. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real top of the morning for Monday. Y'all better take advantage of today, because you only got a handful of Mondays left. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's only 52 weeks in a year. It's only so many years you got living on this earth. A handful. Don't you misconstrue time with longer than it actually is. You only got a handful of summers. You got a handful of springs. You got a handful of falls left. You got a handful. And every one that you miss, those are opportunities. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Liz, do the same thing. Appreciate you so much for always tuning in. So much love, so much support. Erica, much love. I hope that dog situation worked out for you. Uno, my brother, always tapped in the morning. We're going to get this marathon on, man. He's the one that's pushing me to run this marathon. You know, and I've been procrastinating on actually signing up. I ain't going to lie. And because of fear. Because I'm still trying to figure out, like, I know that I'm going to do it. I'm still trying to build my confidence. So I got to run this 26.2 miles. Like, it's right. It's in my mind. I'm killing. I'm beating myself over it. So I'm having the same experience that I'm telling y'all. Every time I come to the show, I'm only talking to myself. But I'm grateful enough to have people around me in my circle that I know is going to push me past my comfort level. So that's what he does for me, especially in that category. My brother DJ Flux, Henry's always much love, man. Great. I'm grateful for you tuning in every Monday and Wednesday, man. So much love. And if I miss anybody else, man, Goddess Lodi's out there, of course. Y'all make sure y'all check her out. Sexual Frequency. She been going up on Wednesday night, man. I'll be having to go in my secret room with my headphones, listen to her sometime, man. You know, I can't be letting everybody hear what's going on. I got kids. But much love, y'all. Make sure y'all check her out on Wednesday. It's everybody's, man, what did I say? Goddess Lord. I said everybody, I forgot. With guilty pleasure. It's everybody's guilty pleasure. Her show is everybody's guilty pleasure. So anyways, until Wednesday, y'all keep it all the way. I'll see y'all then.